there it is. Let's do an overview. Everyone wants to know what it is. I mean, I'll kind of go over most of it for the most part. I'm not going to tell everyone everything, but I will tell everyone mostly everything because there's no secrets with me. I am going to class race this truck. I plan on doing a lot of no-time races, but I will light the boards this year. I got a couple races in particular that I want to do before I do that, but let's take a peek at it. Let's let everyone see what we got cracking right here. So where do we start? We got a black S10 or Sonoma, whatever one wants to call it, Cyclone, Typhoon. I've heard everything on the internet. You know, everyone's an expert. So this is my 80s box Chevy truck right here. This is a double frame rail, 6.0 cert chassis S10. I mean, this thing is all steel, all glass. Like, it even actually has a factory front windshield in it for now. For safety reasons, you can actually change that front windshield and make it optic armor, and that's what I intend on doing. One, it saves weight, and two, it's just safer. You plan on going 180 plus in these things with a glass windshield. The last thing I want is a bunch of shards of glass in my truck, especially if I crash. I don't plan on crashing, but you never know. Shit happens. But for all intents and purposes, it's a way safer platform than what I was going with before. So I guess a couple things we'll talk about. I'm finishing up the motor side. Made the motor plates. Got the mid plate in it. Everything is always a challenge when you come to something that's already painted, something that's already powder coated. So you're trying to avoid trying to grind and weld on something that's already done. So I've actually had to do that a couple times, but you can't tell. I try to do a good job about covering most of that stuff up. But this is a max effort, big cubic inch, all aluminum big block Chevy. It is a rear Morrison deal. This is something that you can go raise X275 with, all steel, all glass. I mean, it's just kind of, you go to use your imagination. It's kind of a little bit of a part right now just because I'm waiting for everything to come back from powder coat, my radiator, my fuel cell, all my other stuff, and whatnot to finish up the front end. But it's pretty much plumb. The only thing I'm missing is some of the nitrous fittings and lines, but that'll be here this week. But it's a nice piece. Like, it's yeah, it makes some horsepower, I'll say that. But me and my dad made the motor plate. I had to modify the mid plate, but it's all in there pretty stout. This thing ain't going nowhere. I'm actually going to set the motor plate on the front. I'm going to do it on like a top fuel dragster. It'll be on the saddles. So we will be able to get the thing in and out pretty easy if I have to, but there's plenty of space and clearance. This thing's pretty set up. It's all made with titanium round bar, or it's got a titanium firewall in it. Anything that can make this thing light, it is. Like, they did everything correct when they put this truck together as far as a roller. I mean, in general, the whole truck's really nice. But yeah, double frame rail. Got my fuel pump mounted up front, trying to keep all the weight functionally forward, right? Like, I'm going to set this thing up for radial. It's going to go 59-ish% on the nose. It kind of just depends, like, kind of like the track, I guess. So I kind of scale them a little bit different depending on what the surface is. But all the races that I'm going to go to, usually the surface is pretty spot on. So you shouldn't have to fight any of that. But this is a 4-link truck, so I have a little bit more adjustability than I'm normally used to. But I guess we can work on. I guess we'll get to the inside last. But it is all steel, like tailgate, everything, the whole nine. Steel roll pan, the whole everything. Does have double beadlock, gold double beadlocks on it. Let's see here. Let's take a peek underneath. Hold on. I'm actually working on building a chute mount. Just ordered all that. All right. Let's see here. Let's lay up under this thing. Oh. So this is I only run Ron G and Yancey's shocks on everything. If I can get away with it, I will. I just got these things back and in. Well, not back. I just got them and put them in. So got that sorted out. I had the same ones on my last truck, so they work really well. I actually had some on the white truck too. So just basically mimicking everything I had on there. But double frame rail all the way to the back, all carbon lid up top. It's it's definitely nice. Chrome moly, sheet metal 9-inch, really nice wishbone. Everything's easy to get to. The only thing that I would change is I'd put the wishbone up top next time, but I mean, it is what it is, kind of just where it ended up, just space-wise. But for reasons just like, if you go to drop the third member, you got to pull the freaking wishbone out of it now, which is kind of a pain in the butt, but I mean, it's not a big deal, not a deal breaker. Let's see here, I'll go from this side. It is a full chassis, all carbon floor or titanium, wherever titanium could be used. Line log, master cylinder, everything underneath the floor. Dropout cross member for the Turbo 400 that we're going to be sliding in this thing. It does have an M&M Turbo 400. Drive shaft loop built into the chassis, which is nice. Same thing back here. It's like a jungle gym. So kind of hard to tell. Parallel 4-link. It's nice. They set this thing up really cool. So it's on like round bar all the way around the wheel well. So you can get a wheel tub bolted up in this thing. We plan on doing that. I'm going to put carbon wheel tubs in this thing because I do not want to deal with rubber and shit everywhere in the back of this thing. But yeah, you can see it's all tabbed and everything. It's really nicely done. So make my life a little bit easier, especially when it comes to cleaning it. Everyone knows I'm a clean freak. But yeah, you're looking at it. Mid plate we got in there. This one is part of the chassis, essentially. It is, well, that one is solid to the chassis. But yeah, the doors, let's see here. So it's all steel. This is a steel door, but carbon inlays and titanium plate everywhere possibly could be used, or really thin sheet metal. But super nicely done. All the levers work. Like I said, it's got a factory latch on the outside. But this is a 6.0 cert. So let's see here. It's got carbon floors, carbon everywhere. Everywhere carbon can be used, just to keep it light. I'm finishing up the switch panel. I got a carbon sheet for that, so I ended up doing that. I'm making a whole switch panel right here. That way you can't see. You won't be able to see any of that. It'll be all covered up with another carbon sheet. Actually, I made a carbon box that kind of goes over that. But everything's accessible. You make everything easy to get to, make it easier to work on. Like, no one ever fucking works on anything. Or no one ever really makes anything easy to work on. I can't say nobody, because people do it, but I try to think about stuff like that. Make everything accessible. Does have a braille, has a black braille in it. Those things work, they kick ass. You only need one of those versus 2 other brand batteries. I do run everything nitrous outlet in this truck. So this truck is going to be completely plumbed with XRP, monofilament hose, and race reusable fittings with all nitrous outlet, nitrous system, everything. We're waiting on a couple last little fittings from XRP so that way I can kind of get this finished up. But this is a single fogger setup, so it's got one kit on it. I run a single 20-pound bottle. Seems to work out better flow-wise for what we're doing. Dave at Nitrous Outlet's an awesome resource when it comes to stuff like that. But yeah, carbon seat. That's like one of those quarter max deals. Like, you can just put in here. So I'm gonna have Market DSP do the whole pour in for me. M&M shifter, black and gold deal. This does have a 3-speed M&M in it, or it's going to. So should have it this weekend. But yeah, I mean, obviously fake headlights, like trying to go for as light as possible. This whole front clip actually comes off with a couple of Zeus's. Makes it really nice. Magnafuel electric fuel pump for right now. I'm not really sure if that's going to last or make it or hang, but we're going to find out. I might end up going to a mechanical, more than likely. But like I said, my tank's all plumbed for the mechanical. I just haven't done it yet. We're going to try it and see if we can make this work. But if we can't, it's going to a mechanical and be done with it. But yeah. This has Brodex block, Sonny's heads, all cast. Everything from the intake down. Trying to make it fit every rule humanly possible, so that way I don't get hemmed up by, anybody saying that I can't fit a rule or I can't make a race because of you know, billet motor, billet head, whatever. But this truck is on Fuel Tech. I got an FT700 for it. It does have CDI coils, FT spark, everything you think Fuel Tech has, this thing has it. There's not a whole lot left that I could add to this thing. I pretty much did the kitchen sink at it. It does have the ProMod trash can solenoids on it. Like I said, this has one kit on it. It does not have two. It doesn't have a sneaky one underneath. Like, it's got one big giant kit on it. I won't tell everyone how big it is, but it's enough to get busy with it. So I plan on trying to go run all steel, all glass with it. And I think most of those guys are running 380s, 390s. So everyone kind of knows what I'm trying to do here. But it does have spindle mounts. It has Weld V-Series on it. TBM brakes all the way around. My last truck was the same way. I had TBMs on it. I actually made carbon panels. Actually, let me show you the other side. Made carbon panel for this. Kind of take the mirror away. It looks kind of cool. It just basically mimicked what was there from the factory mirror. But I ordered some nice polished 12-point ARP deals to go right there. So that'll be cool. That'll look good. Let's see here. What else? Let's go driver's side. Man, you got to appreciate the work that went into this truck. Look at the friggin' paint job and like the way the bars go through the cab. Like, it is nice. Like, fits nice. Looks nice. The whole chassis was powder coated with the body on it. So the inside of the cab has been powder coated too. So like the roof and whatnot is all powder coated black to match the actual chassis itself. So very well thought out, very well done. It's nice. Carbon bed cover. It does have like a Sunoco style hood. I just haven't put it on yet. But yeah, same thing with this door. Same program that the other one has. All steel, all glass. But yeah, this truck's getting, you know, I'm 6'4" with shoes on. So, I mean, I'm a big dude and I still fit in this thing pretty nice. We ended up, let's see here. It's got this wheel on it now, but I'm probably going to switch this. I don't really like this steering wheel, to be honest with you. I'm probably going to put a Momo in it. Like, I like the Momo wheel. They're small. I don't need this giant honking wheel in here. But yeah, that goes something like that. But yeah, just waiting on my FT700. It's going to mount right here on the column. I do run a PDM for like a switch panel. It's not in here yet. It's actually going to be here this week, hopefully. Or who knows, the holidays screw everything up. But as far as shipping anyways, but great for the family. Yeah, this whole firewall is titanium. The floor is titanium. This is all carbon fiber. There's plenty of room. Like normally on cars like this or trucks like this, they make the floor is on the opposite side of the chassis where you have like the trans is exposed and everything. I actually like this better. Kind of gives you a false sense of security because the tranny being right next to you, trying to blow itself up right next to you is not ideal for me anyways. But not like that's going to do shit anyways. But here we are. I have to actually order new belts for this thing. So I'm going to get some new belts. I run all Simpson stuff for my safety stuff. Helmet, seat belts. The only thing I'm not too stoked on is I actually have to weld a tab in here for a window net. Not going to be too excited to grind on that powder coat, but I can do the least amount as possible to put a little tab in here and put the bar in here. Actually, I've seen a couple new setups at PRI, how they had that. But, yeah, that's pretty much it. The truck is black. Oh, shit. There we go. There's that. Yeah, I mean, like I said, all XRP, everything's super clean, monofilament, super light. Got our coils mounted down there. This is on a strut front end with Ron G's. So Ron G and Yancey did all the coilovers and struts or shocks on this thing. Light. The thing was built light, and I intend on keeping it that way. All this hardware and everything right here, these are all steel bolts now, but I ordered aluminum. So weight savings, weight's huge. Ounces become pounds. You could literally go through a whole truck and take out, or car, or whatever, and just start swapping bolts out a little bit at a time. And, you know, at some point, you'll end up with, you know, a bag of 20-pound bolts that you ended up replacing with a couple pounds, especially if you can use titanium or you can use aluminum. In places that I would use aluminum, I wouldn't really use aluminum for anything that's going to be structurally holding things on, like that need to have like some sort of like I guess that's the right word for it. They have to have some sort of a shear point, like where you want it to not break. Like I would never put aluminum on my steering or anything like that, but to hold grills on and stuff like that all day long. Carbon drive shaft, things pretty well dialed in as far as being light. There ain't a whole lot left you can do to this thing to try to make it lighter. Yeah, like I said, the fuel tech's pretty much in it. I just have to mount it to the wall right there. I'm actually gonna, instead of drilling holes into the actual firewall and having any type of bulkheads or any type of bolts going through that firewall, I'm gonna actually drill out some of the rivets that are actually holding the sheet metal on and put a bolt through those. So that way I'm using existing holes that are already there. Then I can put some clamps right there to hold the actual harness, keep it up out of the way. But trying to make it clean. I don't want it to look like there's any wires in here. You won't see any of this wiring. It'll all be hidden behind the panel. It'll be clean. The battery terminals, I actually shortened some of the Fuel Tech harness. I buy the pre-built harnesses from Fuel Tech, but I do end up shortening them. I end up using a lot of like everything that's terminated. Most of the stuff's terminated already, but I end up shortening most of it. But it's just nice to buy the pre-loomed harness. But you can buy that loom. They sell, I don't know if it's the same stuff they use at Fuel Tech, but they sell the loom. Like here's some of it right here at Fuel, or you can get this at Summit actually. It is like a fire retardant loom. Makes it nice. This looks way cleaner than that cheap shit. Like everyone's seen this stuff. Like I'm fucking, yeah, this cheap shit. Like I don't even use this stuff anymore for anything really, honestly. Here, if you don't believe me, I don't use that shit. I actually buy rolls of this fire retardant loom. And that's no lie. Right here. I got it all day long. I got fucking bags of it. Got bags of it over there. But yeah, Mazir flex plate, Mazir starter. This thing's nice. I'm really excited. We have a busy year, that's for sure. Here, I'm walking in my office, I kind of go over that. Converter. So I have a 3-speed M&M for this thing, close ratio. I have Neil Chance, baby. So all we run. I run Hughes stuff. That's not true. I run a lot of stuff. Actually, that's not true at all either. I run 2 converters. I either run a Hughes or I run a Neil Chance. They're the 2 converters I choose to use. I don't have any problems with any of them. I don't think there's anything wrong with other converters. They're just the 2 that I prefer to go after. This is my... Oh, let's pull this thing out. It's really not that heavy, actually. Actually, for shits and giggles, I'd like to weigh it. But this is my... all billet Neil Chance titanium hardware. Yeah, it's a really badass piece. A lot of ducats into that thing, but I'm actually curious how much it weighs. Everyone else is probably too. It's really not that heavy, to be honest with you. I can lift it up with one hand pretty easy. Let's see here. I'm guessing it probably weighs, I don't know what a normal converter weighs. Some people's fucking converters. I just had a trans in here the other day, and the fucking thing was ridiculously heavy. It's my wife's shipping station for all her stuff. Let's see here. This thing is 25 pounds, 7 ounces. So fairly light for a converter. I mean, I bet you some converters weigh 40 pounds, just the way they're designed. But it's not horribly, it's not horrible. It's actually kind of nice. Rotating weight is horsepower. All right, let's put that bad boy back in the box. Let's see here. Yeah, Marty Chance, he's the one who got my last truck is moving as fast as it used to. That thing was a badass piece for sure. I'm really happy with it. I'm really happy with them in general. They help out a lot. They're really good people. So now that everyone kind of knows what we're doing, I appreciate everyone's support. This year's been pretty wild for me. I moved states. I opened a new business. Well, an existing business in a different state. We got our shop and our showroom set up, so it's kind of cool. We're actually wandering around in it now. But it's been crazy, and 2025 is going to be even crazier. But without you guys and out everyone out there supporting us and bringing us work and sending us business and buying shirts and buying all that stuff, I'm useless. Like I can't do it without everybody else. So me and my family appreciate it. So moving forward, make sure you guys like, subscribe, comment, everything you guys can to help me keep pushing this thing forward. I'm on a train and I'm not stopping. I'm going to keep going. We have a ton of stuff we're going to do this year. I'm really excited about it, and I'm going to try to document as much of it as I possibly can so that way we can keep this thing going. But like I said, I appreciate everyone. Have a good one.